Hi everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Secrets in Dragon Ball Games. Tenkaichi 3 has a counter system that allows you to cancel your combos and hold the counter/defense position. If you get hit while in that position, you'll launch an automatic counter attack. Most characters have this basic counter stance. For example, let's take a look at Goku's stance. It's basically a default stance, which many characters share. Certain characters such as Vegito have minor changes. Super Vegito has an even more unique one, probably a reference to his heavy use of legs for defense as well as offense. But the one I find the most interesting is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Let's take a look. Did you catch it? You can see GT Gogeta do this little handspin thing. It's a bit hard to see, but he's actually pointing his finger to his right shoulder. For those of you who might not get it, it's a subtle reference to his fight with Omega Shenron, in which he was being taunted by Gogeta. He's essentially telling Omega to give him a scratch because his attacks were, and I quote, tickling him. I always saw Raging Blast 2 as a PS3 version of Tenkaichi 3, since a lot of things from Tenkaichi 3 carried over to RB2. Everything from combat to transformations and even character interactions. However, it does manage to stand out on its own, thanks to a couple of subtle new additions. Similar to Tenkaichi 3, Raging Blast also adds a bunch of characters that you don't typically see in Dragon Ball games. For example, the entire force of Cooler, Androids 14 and 15, Super Saiyan 3 Broly, Vegeta, and heck, even Tarbell. The ones we'll be focusing on here are the androids, since they gave them a subtle little Easter egg. Android 20, aka Dr. Gero, will lose his hat during battle if you hit him with an ultimate move. His messed up hairline and brain will be revealed. The same thing happens with Android 19. I found this really interesting since they don't really reveal their brains in most of the games, not even in Tenkaichi 3. Similar thing can be seen with Android 15, who, on top of losing his hat, also has wires popping out of his head. Speaking of Raging Blast, upon completing one of Goku's mentor missions, Goku will utter these words.
You really are incredible! It was a raging blast fighting with you!
I love how he overemphasizes it because he knows exactly what the pun is. In Tenkaichi 2, while gathering energy for the Spirit Bomb, the energy you gathered actually appears in the sky. Now, here's a cool detail. Each time you gather energy, the Spirit Bomb will progressively get larger.
Share your energy with me! Share your energy with me!
Once enough energy is gathered, charge your ki up and activate the Spirit Bomb.
Here it comes!
For some reason, Goku teleports to the sky and then throws it in Tenkaichi 2. I do like this little detail. It kind of reminds me of the instant In Raging Blast 2, Goku is actually able to stack his Kaio-ken boost, a feature many Dragon Ball games omit.
Kaio-ken! Kaio-ken times 2! Kaio-ken times 3! Yeah!
And as you would expect, his attacks get a notable boost, especially his Kaio-ken rush attack, which looks perfect in this game. Battle of Z is one of the most forgettable Dragon Ball games. It's the first main game to feature Battle of Gods characters. Unfortunately, not even Beerus and Whis could save it. For me personally, the most notable thing from this game was Super Saiyan Bardock and one other character. Sage Goku, a Super Saiyan version of Goku wearing Naruto's Sage Mode cloak and headband. Aside from a cosmetic change, they also included a subtle Easter egg in his attacks. Normally, Goku simply charges up and fires his attacks. But if you select the Sage outfit, he actually does his hand signs as if he's performing a jutsu. Apparently, this was a collaboration between the latest Naruto game at the time, Naruto Storm 3, and Dragon Ball Battle of Z. Fun fact, in Storm 3, they gave Naruto the power pole as well as Goku's gi, also performing the Rasengan with two hands. In one of my previous videos, I went over a little censorship detail in regards to Android 18. More about it in this video. Well, did you know that Jace had a similar issue? In Tenkaichi 2, he says this.
Don't play stupid with me, wanker!
While in Tenkaichi 3,
Don't play stupid with me!
you can hear the abrupt cutoff. It's obvious which quote was supposed to go here. One censorship detail that always intrigued me was Bardock's final Revenger attack. In Tenkaichi 3, he only does one knee kick to the enemy's back before finishing his combo. Yet in Tenkaichi 2...
Be gone!
remember reading somewhere that his Tenkaichi 2 version was deemed too violent. I mean, I can kind of see it, but it's a fighting game. I guess they had to comply with the game's rating. In Shin Budokai Another Road, the PSP version of Budokai games, future Gohan is actually a playable character. What's more, he's actually able to transform into his mystic form. It's kinda sad since he never had a chance to reach that form in his original timeline. Also, he's able to use the Burning Attack. Burning Attack is one of Trunks' signature moves. I always saw Burning Attack as something Trunks came up with on his own. Not sure if that was ever explicitly stated in the canon, but I like the implication this game gives. Burst Limit is in a similar position to the Shin Budokai series, as it's a PS3 version of the Budokai games. Of course, it has its own unique twists. For example, the support system. Aside from selecting your main character, you're also able to select a partner. That partner will occasionally interrupt the battle in the form of drama pieces.
I'll kill him.
They essentially help you out during battle. Now, the devs thought it would be funny if they added some dialogue between Tien and Cell. Cell will keep cheering Tien on, even going so far as to call him buddy. Meanwhile, Tien is just standing there in confusion.
I'll kill him.
What? Not me, right?
Come on, buddy, blast him.
Please, let me decide how I'll fight, okay?
Tien, Senzu Bean.
I really don't get this.
Show off your wonderful power.
Look, you're really weirding me out.
Destructo discs have a unique property in Tenkaichi games. You can usually block most of super attacks. However, Destructo discs just shred through the guard. Even regular Ki Blast versions of them are unblockable. I guess they were referencing the anime. Only way to avoid them there was to dodge. One thing I like to do is charge and throw them. Rush at the enemy. If by some chance the enemy manages to get the upper hand, your Destructo disc will hit them in their blind spot. Devilman is one of the most forgotten characters in the entire DB franchise, which makes his inclusion in Tenkaichi 3 kind of shocking. For some reason, and I don't even know what that reason is, they decided to put him in the game and actually give him a lot of detail and attention. Aside from a what-if story mission where he literally saves the Earth by defeating Frieza and his father, his Devil Might Beam has a complex system that measures the evilness of characters. For example, Goku has no evil in his heart. Every single version of him, even GT Goku.
You're wide open!
You're no match for me.
However, when transforming into Super Saiyan, his heart gets slightly tainted with evil, probably due to rage, which is necessary to awaken Super Saiyan. 1500 is the max damage Goku can receive, be it Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, or even 4. I guess the evilness doesn't stack with each new transformation. The one character I wasn't expecting to have evil in his heart was Kid Gohan. It looks like the little guy actually has a tiny sliver of evilness, whereas Goten has 0.
You're no match for me.
That's all for this one. If you guys want to see more or have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.